to North Dakota hockey as we get set to take on the Minnesota Voyegers in the third game of the weekend. Some statistics for North Dakota from the last two games. Leading in the goal scoring is Fikert and Hilton with 2. And rounding out the others is Lippert, Puppy, Regal, and Harder with 1. Leading on the assist board is Lippert with 2. Regal, Elseth, Scherger, and Fikert all have 1. On the power play for Game 1, North Dakota was 1 for 2. And in Game 2, they were 1 for 4. On the penalty kill, North Dakota was 4 for 4 in Game 1, and one of those was actually a 5-on-3. North Dakota doing a really good job holding off the barrage of shots in the late stages of that game to come out victorious. And in Game 2, they went 2 for 3 in the power play. For the saves in the first game, Zander had 46 of 50, and in the second game, Maher had 26 of 28. We're having a tough time focusing here on the ice. It's kind of white, so we apologize for that. We'll see if we can get it cleared up for you. With that, since it's so early in the morning, I think it's time for a dad joke, don't you, TJ?
Absolutely.
Did you know that I replaced my rooster with a duck?
Why would you do that?
Because now I wake up at the quack of dawn. Starting in net for North Dakota is going to be Kiana Zander. Off the bench, starting in defense, we're going to have Swearingen along with Elseth. And for the forwards, we're going to go with the Fikert, Sabota, and Puppy line. Minnesota with the puck coming down the left side. Shot, that one hits a slip, goes far wide into the corner. Held in by Minnesota down below the goal line as Fikert takes the puck away. Gets it up to Sabota. She tries to chip that one forward, hits the back of a player and up on the rail. And Sabota gets it up to Puppy. Puppy 1-1. Puppy trying to cut in, backhands it, saved by Minnesota goalie. 2 saves. As Minnesota comes out with the puck, held in by Fikert. Fikert at the half wall tries to get a shot at the slot area as Minnesota picks it up in the far corner into the skates of Fikert. And Puppy now with the puck with a good shot on net. Minnesota coming out with a Swearingen, holds the puck in at the blue line. And that's going to be a save for Minnesota. Good morning to the early risers who are able to watch today's game as we bring it live to you from Judd Rink in the Icon Hockey Center in Grand Forks. Regal with a shot. That one, huge rebound, came out to the... And... Minnesota trying to get it in the zone. That one poke checked away by Olsen. Minnesota picks up the loose puck. Harder with a nice punch move down below the goal line to create some space. She has the puck, and she gets checked from behind into the wall. No call. Olsen gets it up to Regal. Gets past the defenseman. Regal has the puck. Minnesota takes that one away from the back check of Minnesota as Olsen's going to pick it up in the far corner. Centering pass picked up. Coming in, shot, Zander, save, rebound, 2-3. And Minnesota scores. Xander can't make the third save as Minnesota is on the board with 22:53 remaining in the period. But I am. Lee cutting to the middle on her backhand down the left side, gets the puck over to Hilton. Out to the point. Henderson can't get a stick on it. We got a 2-on-1. As McDaniel does a nice job rubbing the Minnesota player off the puck. Pushes that one forward, gets it up to Holman, who backhands it up to Lee. Minnesota brings the puck back. Holman. Excuse me, that's McDaniel. Sends that one all the way down. We're getting a nice one. Face-off taking place to the right side of Xander. Scores 1-0 in favor of Minnesota. Lee steps in. She's out there. McDaniel, Coleman, and Hilton. Lee and Holton. Lee coming in, cutting on her edges, on her backhand, poke checked away. Lee trying to get a centering pass, not able to do so, picked up by Minnesota. Henderson tried to poke check that one forward, picked up by Holman. As Minnesota sends that one around, rims it on the ice. Held in by McDaniel, knocked away by Minnesota. Voyegers with the puck. Spiker comes in, tries to take that one away, picked up by McDaniel. McDaniel cross center ice. Sorry, I can't get there. We go. McDaniel shot saved by Minnesota. And a coverage. Scorekeeper's not doing a good job on keeping these shots total up as North Dakota now has 5. Let's see if we can get this fixed here. Trying to get it so it doesn't get that white out for everybody. 21 minutes remaining in the first period. 1-0 in favor of Minnesota. Face-off in the Minnesota zone. Minnesota wins that face-off. Minnesota gets it deep into the defensive zone of North Dakota. Elseth trying to pin it up along the boards. I did hear some of the people from Minnesota talking that they are down 3 players today that are sick, and they still have a full bench of 15. So they must run a roster of 20 as they have 2 goalies. Fiker gets the puck up to Puppy. Puppy fans on the pass, tries to get it up to Savoda, not able to do so. Centering pass right to the front, right to a Voyager player. Luckily, they misfired on that one, and Savoda's able to get the puck and come out the other way. Savoda and Puppy. Savoda getting it to Puppy. Puppy circling over to Swearingen. Swearingen sends that to the half wall. I apologize for the whiteout conditions here on the ice. North Dakota trying to hold it in, not able to do so. We're going to have an icing coming up on Minnesota with 19:23 remaining in the first period. Minnesota wins the face-off down in the defensive zone. Three-on-two situation. Trying to get around Olsen. Xander save. That one goes into the corner. Up to the point, tries to hit Lippert, not able to do so. Turned over, picked up by Minnesota. Minnesota down the right side, screenshot, blocker saved by Xander. Olsen to pick the puck up in the far corner, skating with it, sends that out of the zone. They're going to say icing. As that one's going to come all the way down into the North Dakota zone. For this period, North Dakota traveling right to left on the dial as Lee steps in to take the draw. Won by Minnesota. Get it down below Xander. Circling behind the net is McDaniel. McDaniel with the head of steam coming out of the zone. Gets it backhand into her skates, loses it. And Minnesota's coming back the other way. McDaniel hustling back to her defensive position as Henderson takes the puck away from Minnesota. Henderson now, she's going to do the same thing McDaniel's going to do. As Minnesota gets the puck. Skating around Henderson, poke check by McDaniel. Xander save, and that one rests right into her glove. And Xander came out of the crease to play that puck. Lee taking the draw. Holman pushes it forward, held in by Minnesota. Lee with the puck again. Holman reverses direction. Pocket was picked by Minnesota as they send that one behind the end boards into the corner. Minnesota on the far side. That one hits somebody in front. Minnesota able to pick the puck up down into the far corner. Shot. That one goes off the side of the net. Picked up by Lee. Taken away behind the net by Minnesota as Swearingen comes in. Xander, stick save. As Holman's going to pick up the puck. Fans on it. She looked up to see where the pass was going, but she didn't take the puck with her. That one hits the skates of Elsack. As Lee picks up the puck, reverses direction. She's going to send it up to Hilton. Hilton trying to chip that one out. Minnesota picks up the loose puck, gets it down into the defensive zone. Touch pass to Elsa. Over to Swearingen. Centering pass to Lee. Shot coming, and that's going to be a glove save by Minnesota. 7-6. Shots are in favor of North Dakota. As Fikert is going to take the draw with Savoda and Puppy down in the defensive zone for Minnesota. Savoda pins her man up along the boards. Harder with the puck on her stick. As that one goes below the goal line, Savoda's there to pick it up, along with Fikert. Minnesota picks up far side, ice pass. Minnesota with it. Sabota knocks that one out of the crease, gets it into the far boards. Shot redirected. Xander save. Another save. I don't know if that one got through all the way, but Xander sliding across the crease makes a nice leg save to keep it at a 1-0 game. Fleicher tries to get it up to Sabota. Knocked down off the boards by Minnesota, centering pass, high slot. Backhand coming in, shot, pad save by Xander. Sabota tries to get it over to Puppy. Out of her reach. And it's going to be picked up by Olsen. Up to Sabota. Gets past the D. Sabota knocked off the puck. There to help. With 15 minutes remaining in the first period. As Jurger comes off the bench, trying to create a turnover down below the goal line. Minnesota coming out. Harder with the puck. Hard off the boards. Can Regal get there? Regal has getting worked off the puck. As Minnesota able to chip that one forward. And we're going to get a penalty coming up on McDaniel. She steps in front of the skater from Minnesota. And McDaniel's going to go to the box for 2. Let's see if it's going to be tripping or interference. Interference, they say. Minnesota now on the power play, working it around right D, shoots that one wide of the net. Xander right there, that one squirts right in front of her as the defense. I think that was a calibrated shot from behind the net, bounced right in front. Five on four for the next minute, 30 seconds. We got a 2-on-1. Alseth, not there. That one shot wide as it came from the right face-off dot in front of Xander. Going to be picked up by Alseth behind the net. Alseth trying to dangle. Poke checked away. Lee getting a stick on it, bounces it off the boards. That one's held in at the blue line. Forward from Minnesota checking the shoulder, see what's there. Hilton picks her pocket, comes out across center ice. And that one's put away by Minnesota, but picked up by Swearingen. Swearingen coming in down the left side, tries a screenshot. That one hits the stick, goes to the end boards, picked up by Minnesota. Bouncing puck off the boards to be picked up by Lee. Held in by Minnesota. Swearingen can't get in on it to get it out, but that hits somebody in front. And Minnesota's going to have to regroup. 13 seconds remaining on the penalty kill for North Dakota. That one hits Henderson's stick, goes to the end board as North Dakota is now full strength. That one hits Henderson, goes to the far boards. As the Voyagers are outworking North Dakota at the moment. North Dakota chasing the puck. Picked up by Lee. Lee tries to get it over to Fikert, out of her reach. Fikert's on the forecheck. Minnesota the other way. Down the left side. Stick saved by Xander. Out to the point for Hilton. Hilton and Sabota. Sabota on her left hand. Backhand. It's a cut to the middle. Harder with the puck, backhands it, gets it across center ice. And Minnesota should, too many men, maybe? It was close. I'm not. It's going. No. That one goes into the far corner. 11 minutes left. Behind the net of Xander. Minnesota with the puck, trying to stuff it short side. Xander has no idea where that puck is at. As that comes out to the point. Xander with another save. 10th save of the morning. Now Minnesota is out shooting North Dakota by 10-8. As Fiker takes the draw to the right side of Xander. As Olsen has the puck, pushes that one forward to the half wall to Puppy. Gets it out of the zone. Sabota on the forward check. Minnesota able to get it around. Into Fiker skates. Still there. As Puppy sends that one to the far boards. Minnesota shot from the left defense. That one gets all the way through traffic. Comes out to the right half marks. And gets around the defensive Harder. Right point, that one hits Fike, but that goes all the way through into the far corner. Lee, over to Sabota. Sabota down the left side, cutting in. Tries to make the cut-in move. And they're going to say no icing on North Dakota. 9:40 remaining in the period. Both teams getting the line change. Catching. They're going to say icing on Minnesota. That was close. Hey, you're a fisherman, aren't you, Tina?
I like to eat fish.
Oh, well, that's close enough.
Yeah.
How do you communicate with the fish?
More bubbles?
You drop them a line. Backhand by Elseth, not able to get through its target. They're going to say icing on that one, as it should be. Face off to the right side of Minnesota's goalie with 9:23 remaining. Scores 1-0 in favor of Minnesota. As Jurger steps in to take the face off. Won by Minnesota. Picked up by Lippert. Knocked off the puck. Pulled it in at the half wall far side. Minnesota chips that one past Elseth. As Swearingen can't clear the puck. Held in by Minnesota. Minnesota coming right side. Xander blocker save way out of her net. She needs to get back over. 2 slides and she's right back to that post, sealing it off as Minnesota working that right side of the net. Swearingen able to knock that one away. Minnesota having to regroup. That one hits Swearingen's stick, goes into the corner, behind her own net. Taken away by Minnesota. Xander with a nice save. As Minnesota was right. Let's shoot that. As Minnesota was there on an odd angle shot, the pass came from the top of the faceoff circle, redirected in front, and Xander making 2 saves with 8:11 remaining in the period. Face-off won by by Minnesota. Holman with the puck. McDaniel tries to push that one up. That hits the Minnesota player. Anderson picked up by Hilton. Poke checked away. We got a 2-on-1. Missed the puck just enough that North Dakota is able to regroup. Hilton with the puck. Gets it up to Lee. We got a 2-on-1. Hilton and Holman coming down left side. Shot saved. Rebound. That one goes right into the pads of Minnesota goalie as Lee took the shot. Minnesota on the attack, trying to split the defense. Henderson able to get her stick on the play. Comes out to Lee. Far side over to Hilton. Hilton trying to win the race as Minnesota cuts her off and gets the loose puck. Minnesota across the center ice. Good stick by McDaniel. Picked up by Henderson. Up to Holman. Down the right side. Poke checked away. Still with the puck. Sends that one on net. Taken away by Fiker. Tries to get a centering pass to Savoda. Knocked away by Minnesota. Now Savoda with the puck. Comes out to Olsen. Tries to get it to Savoda. Through the legs of the defender as North Dakota gets called for icing. Face off to the left side of Xander as Fikert's going to take the draw. Face off won by Minnesota out to the right D. Gets it to the half wall. Nice shuffle pass from Savoda up to Puppy. She sent one off the board. Behind the net, Minnesota turned around by Fikert. Savoda centering pass to Fikert. Fikert backhand. Not enough muscle on that one to get through the traffic. Fikert needing a little spinach on that last backhand. As Minnesota takes the puck, mishandles it, comes out to Olsen. Bouncing puck in front. And Puppy was there with a couple swings at it. As Minnesota gets a stoppage in play with 5:27 remaining. Scores 1-0 in favor of Minnesota. Puck comes all the way out. Minnesota's on the attack. Gets it up to Savoda. Minnesota regrouping. Nice regroup by Minnesota. Able to spread out North Dakota just a little bit as Olsen picks the puck up behind Xander. Olsen backhands it over to Savoda. Not able to chip it off the boards. Olsen's there to pick it up in the corner. She sends it around far boards. Minnesota holds it in. Olsen knocked off the puck. Taken away by Fikert. Now taken away by Minnesota. To Puppy. To Minnesota. Shot. Stick saved by Xander. Held in by Minnesota. Tripping should be called. Oh, we got it. We do have a call coming. As Minnesota is going to go to the box. Elseth from the point, lining it up. That one gets through traffic, hits the end boards. Swearingen pinching on the play. As North Dakota is on the power play. By Swearingen, inner feet. Swearingen shot from the point, redirected by Minnesota's own teammate right into the goalie's pads. If that had been any harder, that might have went up over the pad to make it a 1-1 game, but that one went to the end board. As Alsath's going to pick the puck up, turns it around, versus direction. Centering pass over to Jurger, off her stick as Lippert is on the forecheck. Puck squirts loose. Swearingen, shot saved by Zander. Minnesota able to get around the defense of North Dakota and get a shot on net with 3:15 remaining. I know it. Shot saved by Zander as Minnesota wins the faceoff. Over to Hilton. Hilton loses the puck back into the zone, defensive zone. Anderson having to go behind Zander. 34 seconds remaining on the power play. Henderson with the puck. Not sure why our defense are skating that puck up on a 5-on-4 as the puck is taken away by Minnesota. .234 remaining in the first period. Shots are 15-12. McDaniel with the shot. Holman with the shot as Minnesota comes in to clean up house. We're right there, right on the doorstep of getting a goal. We need to break that cellophane off the back of them, between those pipes, as North Dakota's getting a couple shots. Hilton taking the draw. Out there with McDaniel and Holman. On defense, we have Henderson and McDaniel. Lee, centering pass, hits the stick of a Minnesota player. And that one's, Henderson's going to have to win the race. We got a 3-on-1 shot, saved by Zander, another save. Both teams even strength. Glove saved by Zander. North Dakota having a tough time clearing the puck out of the zone with 1:44 remaining as Zander gloves it to get a stoppage in play. Face-off, one out to the point. At the half wall, misses its mark. Centering pass, that one's going to go behind the net. As McDaniel sends that one up. Savoda trying to poke check it around Minnesota. Minnesota doing a nice job sealing off the wall as Savoda tries to poke check that one around him. Savoda able to cut to the middle. Gets it up to Puppy, who gets it back to Savoda, back to Puppy. Puppy, back to Savoda, cutting to the middle. Shot that hits somebody in front. Savoda with the puck, and Savoda gets her own rebound and ties the game 1-1 with 1:09 remaining in the first period. We're going to give Puppy the assist on that. Savoda with the goal as she followed her first original shot and got the rebound. Even strength goal. Minnesota sends that one into the far corner. 59 seconds remaining in the period. Tie game. Savoda tries to chip that one forward. Pokes loose. Xander lets that one in blocker's side to make it 2-1 with 47 seconds remaining. Jurger taking the face off, won by Minnesota. Picked up by Lippert. Off her stick. 3-on-2. Entering the zone. Harger with the nice poke check with her foot. Gets the puck up to Jurger. Jurger tries to get it out. Puppy with it by herself. Puppy and Regal. Excuse me, that's not Puppy, that's Lippert. Shot! Oh, saved by the Minnesota goalie with 19 seconds remaining. Shot coming from the point from Harger. North Dakota with a good chance, picked up by Jurger. She sends it around with 10 seconds remaining. And Minnesota escapes the barrage of shots as Harger gets caught on flat-footed shot. Xander doesn't need to make the save as that one goes wide. And that's going to be the end of the period, as we're going to keep it here for you guys to be mesmerized by the zamming abilities of the Grand Forks Parks and Rec staff. You are watching North Dakota hockey here in Grand Forks, North Dakota, as North Dakota is trailing by a score of 2-1. We'll be back here shortly. Thanks for watching. Welcome back to the game as I try to find my pen. That scoring for North Dakota in the first period was Savoda, as she was assisted by Puppy. Savoda made the initial shot on net, followed that shot to the net, got her own rebound, and was able to put it back into the net. And about 24 seconds after that, Minnesota was able to come back and get the go-ahead goal as we prepare for the second period. Both teams now coming out on the ice. I want to thank everybody for watching this morning's broadcast. We know that most of you are wanting to get to church or have other projects going on, but you're taking the time to watch your girls play here in Grand Forks. So thank you for doing so. One penalty for North Dakota was McDaniel. 2 minutes for interference. Two minutes remaining in the warm-up period. Team North Dakota is coached by Maddie Clark from Mandan and assisted by Brady Holman from Devils Lake. Shots on goal are in favor of Minnesota. Actually, North Dakota 18-19. So North Dakota has one more shot on net. As North Dakota will be traveling from left to right on the dial this morning. Starting the second period for North Dakota is going to be Hilton, Puppy, and Lee. On defense, they're going to have Swearingen, and can't see who the other D partner is going to be for Swearingen. That's going to be Elseth on the D. 2-1 is the score. 25 minutes on the clock. 2 referees and 1 puck. As we get set to take the puck drop in the second and final period. As Lee takes the face-off, Minnesota wins it. Off to the left side, right side. Shovel pass forward, and I don't know how that hits somebody in front. Tipped by was that tipped by a defenseman? Puck was chipped up over Xander's glove to make it a 3-1 game. Voyegers win the face-off. Puck behind Xander. Swearingen picks up the puck. Swearingen now off her stick, gets up to Hilton. Centering pass, not able to hit its mark. Minnesota able to stop it at the red line. Center ice. Minnesota cutting, trying to split the defense. Poke checked away by Elseth as Minnesota player picks that puck up on the left side, up to Puppy. Held in by Minnesota. Sorry, I can't get this. North Dakota making 5-foot passes, not the effective passes they need to make to get it out of the zone. As Swearingen picks up the puck, hits that referee, held in by the referee. That one hits the side of the net, goes into the corner. Puck comes out to Lippert. Minnesota gaining the zone. Shot coming from the point. Saved by Xander. That one bounces off in front of her. And that's going to be shot down the ice for an icing call. Jurgen taking the face off. Minnesota able to hold it in as Jurgen pushes that one forward. They're going to say icing. They're going to play that one, I think.
Close.
I think that's one of the first times I've seen a Minnesota player sandbag it. 3-1 is the score. 23 minutes remaining. Jurgen taking the face off. Won by Minnesota. Out to the point. That hits Lippert. Lippert's on her own. Has the Minnesota goalie all by herself. Lippert shot. And that one goes wide of the net. Lippert trying going glove side on that one. Went a little bit wide. Lippert pushing the puck forward, trying to stay with it. Puck taken away by McDaniel. Minnesota's going to have to regroup. Offside, Minnesota. Face out, offside, North Dakota zone. Henderson with the puck. Off the wall, held in by Minnesota, cutting to the middle. Xander, poke checked away. Holman turns it around at the half wall, near board. Comes out to the high slot area, taken away by Minnesota as it goes over to the far boards to be picked up by Henderson. Henderson try to cut to the middle, almost a turnover. As Minnesota having to regroup. Henderson behind her own net, cutting to the middle, turnover right in front of Xander. Blocker save as she turns that one into the corner. McDaniel with the puck. Minnesota cutting to the left side as Xander able to make a stoppage in play. Oh yeah. North Dakota switching up the lines a little bit as they have Lee out there with Puppy. and Hilton. Puppy pushes that one forward, comes out for skates, has Hilton there, tries to push that one forward, not able to do so. Minnesota turns it around the other way, enters the zone, comes on the right side. Centering pass up to Xander. Blocker save. Centering pass to Lee. Lee shot saved by Minnesota goalie. Xander having some equipment issues on the other side. Face-off won by Minnesota. Icing on Minnesota. As it comes all the way back down into the Minnesota zone. Lee taking the draw. Won by Minnesota. Voyegers bring it around behind their own net to the half wall far side. They push it forward past Swearingen. Elseth's going to have to get there 2-on-1. Nobody in front of the net to help her out as Elseth reels it around with lots of speed. Gets it over to Hilton. Off her stick, goes to the boards, but she's able to get back to regroup as Swearingen holds it at the blue line. Sends that one deep. And Minnesota able to regroup. Jurga reading the play on that, gets the puck. Oh, too many men on Minnesota. This is the second power play of the game for North Dakota as Minnesota gets caught with too many men on the ice. Face off to the right side of Minnesota's goalie as Lippert takes the draw, one back to Harder. Harder with the shot, save. Lippert with the puck. Can't quite capitalize on that as it comes out. And McDaniel with the puck. Anderson reading the play, needs a little confidence with the puck to turn around to see what's available to her as it's poke checked away by McDaniel. McDaniel with the puck. Turns it around. Right into the player from Minnesota. Blocker save, Xander. That one there, I don't know if she really needed to go down on. She did anyway. Oh, that one hit the referee right in the shins. Centering pass by Regal. Nobody there. No one. McDaniel knocks the puck away from the Minnesota player. Tries to get it up to Holman. Gets her stick on it, and Minnesota is going to get a coverage in play. Stoppage, not a coverage. 43 seconds remaining on the power play for North Dakota. Face-off won by Minnesota. That one's chipped off a Harder's stick, comes into center ice, be picked up by Olsen. Pushed forward by Holman. Holman tries to backhand it to Fikert. Not enough spinach on that pass as it comes all the way around Harder, trying to get a centering pass. As Holman back checks a little bit, still with the puck. I should get the camera on the puck. Minnesota gets it out to Olsen. She shoots through traffic. That one goes all the way to the end boards as Feikert's going to pick up the puck. Feichert mishandles the puck at the blue line. We got a 3 on. Oh, that's going to go all the way down. Xander's going to poke check that one away. That one scared a goalie dad right there. I got to get the camera back. That was somebody in front. $17-10 remaining in the game. Minnesota able to hold it in. As Feichert sends that one down into the defensive zone. North Dakota getting the line change. Poke checked away by Lee. Tries to get it up to Hilton. Cutting in on a backhand. Tries to get a cross pass. And that one is poke checked away by Minnesota. And Minnesota making the save. 16:22 remaining. Scores 3-1 in favor of Minnesota. North Dakota coming off 2 wins yesterday as they defeated 2 Wisconsin teams 5-4 and 3-2. Three on two, Minnesota entering the zone. Drop pass to the right side, backhand. That one goes behind the net to be picked up by Puppy. Held in by Minnesota. That one hits a player's skates. As Alcest sends that up to Hilton. Minnesota able to knock that one away to be picked up by Swearingen. Swearingen down the right side, left side, excuse me. Glove saved by Minnesota. Alcest pulls that one in, shoots it to the far side. As Lee slides in, tries to steal off the board, not able to do so. Hilton and Lee battling for the puck. That one comes out. Center ice. McDaniel pokes that one forward for Lippert. Lippert shot, glove save, down on the ice. Shots are in favor of Minnesota 23-20, according to my calculations. And we know those calculations are spot on. Face-off by Minnesota. I would say they've probably won 90% of their face-offs this morning. Puck comes out to Lippert. Shot. Glove save. That one goes into the corner. Riegel pushes that one forward. Centering pass to Lippert. Oh, and off the glove of Minnesota goalie as Jurger made a nice centering pass and Lippert was there. And it was off the tip of the glove to go behind the net. And that's going to be an icing call up on Minnesota. And I don't know why we have a snow out on the North Dakota side there. Maybe it's better you don't watch anyway. Face off to the right side of Minnesota's goalie. As Jurger is in the face-off circle. Face-off battle won by Minnesota. Nice pass from McDaniel to Lippert, who gets the goal! Goal number 2 comes from Lippert as she gets a nice pass from McDaniel to make it a 1-goal deficit. Lippert with the second goal for North Dakota. as McDaniel gets the assist. .14:07 remaining in the second and final period as Fikert comes down the right side. Circling in, surveying, centering pass. Svoboda was right there. Svoboda knocks that one down. No high stick on that one. Another centering pass into the skates, and Minnesota coming out with it. McDaniel tries to poke check it. We got a 2-on-1. Fikert picks up the puck, tries to get it out, able to do so, but Minnesota regains possession as Fikert back checks on that one, pokes it forward. Gets it over to Svoboda. Svoboda at the far wall, pushes it forward, and that's going to be icing on North Dakota. North Dakota gets it within one from that goal from Lippert. Able to beat the Minnesota goalie over the glove. Face off to the left side of Xander. Harger with the puck behind her own net. Taken away. Olsen, nice poke check. Fikert tries to get it up to Holman. Excuse me, that's Harder trying to get it up to Holman. As Fikert has the puck now. She sends it off the boards. And that's going to be an icing. A little bit hard. Xander having issues with her padding as she has a, must be her strap along her skate. Yep. I think the Velcro strapping that connects the pads to the skate is getting full of snow and not able to hold itself. Xander having to make an adjustment as Lee steps in to take the draw to the left side. Minnesota wins the face-off. Shot coming. That one goes high and into the end boards. Comes out to the point, not able to, well, it does make it. They send it back to the half wall, cutting to the middle, top the face-off dots. Back door, Xander played the angle on that one. And that one went wide of the net. Puppy with the pass, tries to get it up to Hilton. Hilton working it forward, gets right off the puck. And that one comes out to Swearingen. Olsen up to Puppy, who gets a stick on it. McDaniel's, excuse me, that's Lee. She would have 10 more feet. She could have got there. If that puck would have slowed down just a tad. McDaniel had a chance to poke that one through the leg pads as we have 12:03 remaining in the period. 3-2 is the score. Minnesota wins the face-off in their own zone. Three on two. Drop pass to the D. Shovel pass forward as they try to center that pass. Hilton. Oh! Hilton gets it up to Puppy. Down the right side. Defense from Minnesota has good speed when Puppy just dumped that in, but it was a shot on net. Centering pass. Who's right there? Oh, nice save as Puppy gets that pass. Or was that Lippert? That's Puppy to Lee. And gets a glove save. Face off to the right side of Minnesota's goalie as Jurger steps in. Face-off won by North Dakota. Shot from the point. Hits a couple sticks. Doesn't make it to the end boards. They send that one high off the glass, and we're going to get an icing call coming up on Minnesota. I think they feel it, TJ. I think they can feel the heat coming. They're starting to make some arid plays.
Yeah.
Jerger taking the face off. She's out there with Lippert and Regal. As McDaniel and Henderson are the D. Minnesota breaking out as McDaniel poke checks that one away. Is able to get the puck. Still into her skates. Sabota coming down the left side. Pushes around the defender from Minnesota. She follows that into the zone. Sabota cutting to the middle. She had Fikert there. Backhand by Fikert to Sabota in her skates. To Fikert. Holman's there and poke checked into the corner. Holman's knocked off the puck. Olsen with the puck. Sends that off the boards to be picked up by Sabota. Sabota sends that down, no ice. Fikert and Holman on the forecheck. Olsen pinching on the play. Nice job by Olsen. We have 4 on the puck right now. North Dakota needs to spread out just a bit. Harder gets that pushed up to Fikert off the boards. Sabota with the puck. Nice move by Sabota. Bring that wrapped around. Shot coming from the left circle. That one goes high and wide. Held in by Olsen. Fikert angles her man off behind the net. Fikert hook behind the net. No call. Cutting to the middle. Zanner save. Zach comes out to the point from Minnesota. They send it down below the goal line. Olsen backs that one away. Nice move by Olsen. Sends it over to Hilton. Tries to poke check that one forward off the wall. Lee pushes that one forward. Minnesota winning the race. Loose puck. Lee taking a nice job. Puppy coming down the middle. Screen shot on the ice. Screen. Oh, as Hilton came in there sweeping at it. Picked up by Alsep. Behind the goal line, 8:31 remaining. Held in, gets it to Lee. Off her stick, comes to the high slot area. Poke checked away by Minnesota. And we got a 3-2-on-2. Minnesota coming down the left side. Alsep loses her stick. Swearingen getting in there. Alsep sending her man to the ice. Sending a message saying, get out of here. Battle in front of the net between Alsep and the Minnesota player. Alsep coming in to help. Into the far corner. Picked up by Swearingen. That one gets forward. Hilton. That's Puppy. On the race. And we're going to call icing. Face off to the right side of Xander with 7:35 remaining. Scores 3-2 in favor of Minnesota. Face-off one out to the point. They send that one below the goal line. To be picked up by McDaniel. Poke forward. Lippert trying to poke check that one past the defenseman. As McDaniel picks it up, gets around two defenders. McDaniel coming down the right side on her backhand. Turns it around. Centering pass to Lippert. Try to go far side on that one, not able to do so. Riegel not able to get there, push that one forward. Minnesota able to get it around the defense. Nobody skating for the defense of North Dakota as they watch the Minnesota players go right to that puck. McDaniel cuts to the middle. McDaniel, Lippert. McDaniel does a rising puck and it bounces in and it goes as McDaniel shoots it from the blue line. The goalie from Minnesota misplays that one and it bounces in the net to make it a 3-3 game with 6:38 remaining. I'm going like, yep. McDaniel with an amazing goal to tie this game. That's going to be an unassisted goal. Sabota cutting to the middle on a forehand. Shot. That was the goalie in the head. As it's picked up by Olsen, center ice. Olsen, good control, gets it up to Holman. Off her stick. Olsen up to Fikert, 2-on-1 to Sabota. Sabota and Fikert. Sabota shot that hits the defender. Held in by Holman. Minnesota on their heels right now as Olsen pinches on the play at the half wall. Coming out to Holman. Oh! Minnesota's going to have to regroup. North Dakota. To Holman. Minnesota down the left side looking to see what they have for as Swearingen comes off the bench and knocks that one into the corner. Minnesota cutting the middle. Face-off dot. Zander save. Swearingen picks up the puck. Held in momentarily. Out now by Minnesota. Zander. Pad save. Blocker saved by Zander. As North Dakota able to get it out of the zone. Inside of 5 minutes remaining as North Dakota pushes that forward. They're going to let that one play out. They say no icing on that one. As Lee behind the net. Both referees looking at each other. No one calling off the icing. As we have a 3-on-2 right side coming in from Minnesota. Swearingen overplaying the puck. And they go up over Zander. Swearingen let the defender cut into the middle. And they're able to beat Zander on the glove side. Four to 3 is the score. 4:12 remaining. Blocker save again for North Dakota. Puppy with the puck. Get it around the defense. Able to regain her feet. Still with the puck. Picked up by Hilton. Out to the point for McDaniel. That's going to be right into the pads. All she needs to do is sidestep that just once, and that shot gets through traffic. North Dakota needs just a little bit more confidence with the puck. As soon as it gets on their sticks, they're wanting to get rid of it. All they need to do is settle down just a little bit. Maintain possession, see what they have for options. Then execute the play. .3:11 remaining in the game. Face off, won by North Dakota. Not able to get around the defenseman from Minnesota. North Dakota definitely improved in the very first time that they had a matchup with Minnesota Voyegers. The Voyagers outworking them quite a bit in the first few games. So to see the girls match up with Minnesota is a big improvement. Behind the net of Xander, Harger is going to go down. This is going to be the PK number 2. They were 1 for 1. So Harger's going for roughing. Swearingen swings it up off the boards. That one hits Swearingen in the stick. She's going with it. Buying some time. Needs to get that deep. Picked up by Fikert. Out of the reach of Olsen. Hard off the boards, held in by Minnesota. Taken away by Fikert. On her edges. Pokes that one forward. Fikert knocked off the puck. She's the only one forward checking at the moment. She's out there with Sabota. Minnesota down the left side. They get a shot blocker save. That one goes to the end boards. Centering pass squirts all the way out. Minnesota having to regroup with 1:30 remaining in the period. Sabota and Fikert overskating the puck. Gets down in the zone. Xander blocker save. Let's see, bad save. 1:16 remaining. North Dakota's got to get it out so they can pull their goalie. And that one gets through traffic, comes all the way out to the right side. That one hits Swearingen in the back. Swearingen has to get that puck out. Sabota able to get out. North Dakota's going to have to regroup. 22 seconds remaining on the power play. 49 seconds remaining in the game. Try to go the short side on Xander. That one goes to the end boards, picked up by Olsen. 40 seconds remaining on the penalty, in the game. 9 seconds remaining to the penalty on Harder. North Dakota can't clear it, held in by Minnesota. .25 seconds as we have Hilton and Puppy. Hilton coming down the left side, gets it around the defender. Shot, that one hits the post. 18 seconds, picked up by Lee. Lee cutting to the middle, hooking. No call, comes out Elseth. That one shot. 9 seconds remaining. Out to the point again. Elseth with the shot from the point. Through traffic, and they score with 2.7 seconds remaining in the game. Elseth ties the game from the point. Elseth gets the game-tying goal with 2.6 seconds remaining in the game. 2.6 seconds remain. Hilton with a shot from the point and a save. I believe that's going to be the end of the game as North Dakota comes out with the tie, with Elseth getting the tying goal at 2.6 seconds remaining, as some of the Minnesota parents not happy about the outcome of this game. We want to thank everybody for watching tonight's or this morning's broadcast, as we will, it does feel like night, as we will be back on the ice here at 12:30 for game number 4. As I stated earlier in the period, what an improvement by Team North Dakota in this third game, as the first couple games against the Voyagers, North Dakota struggled. But to come back with their no quit, give it all attitude, we're able to tie it up. What a fun game to watch. "31 saves for Xander on the game, and 30 saves for Minnesota." Thanks for watching North Dakota Hockey. I'm your host, Tim Xander. Thanking you for being here today. And we will be back on the ice at 12:30 this afternoon. I know, right during breakfast and dinner. So can't wait to see what's in store for Team North Dakota as they go 2-0-1 into the fourth game of the weekend.